paradigms will no longer really exist because we will have surpassed it as we are surpassing it now. So,
well, I feel it may exist on other levels, but we will be.
Well, we won't be here.
Aside from that.
That just, we're not including that.
And really, this is what the cosmological Ouroboros is the creation aspect birthing a destructive aspect, and then that destructive aspect coming around to devour the existing bodies of creation from that which has originated. So Sirius is a progenitor of more than one celestial body.
Okay?
You know what? The other day I was in this museum, and you know what I found out?
What?
The first ever woman was named Lucy.
Richard, I gotta go. What the hell are you doing?
I'm sorry.
What the hell are you doing?
I'm so sorry. I really need your help.
Stop.
但我可以先帮你查一下你的班机是否准时。不用担心，要上飞机之前，机场的专员都会照顾你的。请问一下，你的班机是直飞还是转机？
出去！
You know, if you look through the line in the Bible, there's so many children being birthed in the universe. But this is just one example of where what's going to affect our level and layer is the purifier, which is going to devour the children.
Yeah.
Some children, not all of them.
But like Cronus, who devoured his children,
yes,
they were retrieved. So they were not, because they're immortal, they were not, and you cannot kill matter. Matter is indestructible. So in that way, the children were retrieved and taken out of...
Transformed.
Well, they were, I mean, they were transformed, but also they were pulled out of his, I guess you could say, his portal, his gateway, where, you know, when he ate them, they weren't destroyed, but they were not able to go out on their own.
And I was going to say,
existence.
Yeah. I was going to say this for another video, but seeing as we're touched on the topic, Saturn being known as Kronos, that is because Saturn was a destroyer star at a previous point.
An eater.
And that's why he was the consumer of his own children, because he is one of the old men, just to give you a clue on what no country for old men means. And the old men are the celestial bodies, often attributed to Jupiter and Saturn and Neptune and Uranus. And this is the Game of Thrones. And they are ever changing in their roles. This is why the mystery scholars who attributed, and the rulerships who have attributed what we call the days of the week, that's why Saturn is attributed for the seventh day, because the seventh day is the point of the undoing, the collapsing before the renewal. So that's why it was attributed to Saturn, and why it has been venerated also, because it has been a king more than once. It also been a destroyer. So it is the Saturn, because I don't know if you remember the image that we showed of the dragon in the urn within the Vatican architecture and the portrayals of the artwork. You've got the dragon in the urn, and Saturn was in its urn, contained until it was unleashed for the... Now there's another body that's going to be taking that role. And during these convergences, new sub-brown dwarfs are formed, and the destroyer is disempowered. So hell does freeze over. Just
Which brings
an idea of what hell really is in symbology, because Satan is the allegory figure for the destroyer star, and it does incorporate hellfire as part of its body.
Scanner imaging has confirmed the dark planet dead.
And hell does freeze over in the midst of this convergence, and that's when its influence is contained. But a new sub-brown dwarf is born in the midst of that, and then it continues through its cycle again.
Which brings us to the Game of Thrones, because J.R.R. Martin's series of novels, he called them A Song of Ice and Fire. So he is literally writing about all of this. And Daenerys Targaryen, she is the last of the fire lineage bloodline, with the dragons. 3 dragons. So, which again, as per the Game of Thrones, one of the dragons is converted and becomes an ice dragon, while the other 2 remain fire. It's narrating this entire dance, this entire cosmic dance. And interestingly, also Daenerys Targaryen is from a place called Essos. She marries into the Drogo lineage as well. So we're talking serpent, dragons, lions, wolves, all these lineages. That is the Game of Thrones, the Clash of Kings, the Storm of Swords, A Feast for Crows. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Yeah.
So in giving reference to these elements of fire and ice, again, as above, so below, these elements which are moving in right now. And just to give you an idea of what Michael Kavanagh, who apparently is an ex-CIA guy, was speaking about, 777 is activated, and you've got another 2 bodies there representing the 7s. The other bodies which are going to be part of the convergence, which does involve Jupiter, which does involve the red Kachina and Sirius, now activated. And these bodies, Saturn and Jupiter, have moved out of their orbits, and their influence now is increasing upon the Earth, and these are cold bodies. So before things heat up, there's going to be certain areas which are going to get very, very cold as a result of its influence, and then other areas, as Sirius's influence increases along with the red Kachina, that's when the heat's going to come. And so Lauder's holding to that testimony, and that is a true testimony, because it is going to be the 2 extremes playing out. So it's something that people are going to have to prepare themselves for also, is these extremes in the polarities of the temperatures. The balance is going to be thrown out of balance.
Along with all the electric, magnetic, static storms,
discharges.
Discharges, that's all a part of all of this. Along with the magnetosphere is fluxing in and out, and it's also weakening.
Well, it's interesting because your last video, you actually were speaking about the airplanes, which are going to be, it's going to be more unsafe and they're going to be more compromised flying because there's going to be these sudden electromagnetic fluxes occurring. And interestingly enough, and sadly enough, you proved correct. Because I think the very next day, or maybe 2 days afterwards, I was reading reports of planes coming down. So I don't know, that was very kind of uncanny, the timing of you speaking about that. And then that playing out, that's something that is just going to be part of the process going on of all these electromagnetic shifts as above, so below, and these transformative process of the transformers, which are the celestial bodies.
A really important thing to keep in mind is that inside our perspective is everything. So we do have that power within us. And it's really important that people realize that you can literally shift an energy and a frequency with your thoughts and feelings. Your feelings will align with your thoughts. So it is really vital to not play into the fear aspect of all of this, but rather just to be in the moment, live in the moment, and enjoy, because we are meant to enjoy life, because we are in this creation. There's that balance between wisdom and peace. The wisdom of your peace, and the peace must be within you, because heaven is within you.
I mean, part of what we've been covering in our work, it's been also been our self-healing process as well. We've been taking through the journey of our own alchemical process as we've been going through it ourselves, seeing the signs all around us and recognizing the codes and the clues and so forth, and the continual and increasing degradation of society and the system. So it does degrade further, but in the midst of its degradation, on a personal level, we are meant to step into our power of our being and our potential as light beings, as stars.
And the peace within the storm. So you can be within the eye of the storm, literally, and that's where we're meant to be. And this is really the most exciting place of creation. Where we are, this axis point, is the most exciting place, because it is true ignition in evolution. It is really igniting all of our meta being through that.
Well, when you use the word excite, I mean, yeah, it's actually what I was thinking of. I was thinking of it in terms of like, well, I'm not really excited about the idea of like waiting in floods or anything, but I know what you're really saying in the more literal sense is the DNA that's being excited and that is going through its alchemy and its transformation.
Yeah, DNA and also your consciousness.
Mm-hmm. And that is in turn determined with our choices, along with what's happening as above and influencing below, which is interacting with us. So yeah, it is definitely interesting times, and but also once you alter your perspective beyond the fear aspects of the changes, which most of us are not comfortable with, and I'm sure I'm going to go through that process too, of being uncomfortable. I like my comfort zone too, but we're all going to be taken out of our comfort zone over the years, and that is just part of the journey. Hopefully, you're all strong and willing enough to ride it out. So hold firm, and we're with you.
Well, this is a dance that we all decided that we wanted to dance in, this musical, what we decided to dance to, this orchestra, right from the beginning. So this is not anything we didn't choose. This is not anything that is not for our best interests in our being, in our becoming, because we are becoming.
Yeah, looking at it from the wider, more eternal perspective.
They say there's nothing to fear but fear itself. So without fearing fear, then be in the center of the eye of the storm.
And I know deeply within me that there is going to be, even in the midst of stormy moments, the grace will be present in and around people who have done what they're here to do.
Yeah. And who strive and who literally want to be awake and want consciousness and choose to be conscious. And choosing consciousness is a 24/7 thing. It isn't something you just put on 7 hours a week. It's literally a state of being.
Yeah. Mindfulness and wanting to better yourself, wanting to evolve, to not remain stagnant. And we wish everyone all the success with that, and we obviously are going to do our part in hopefully encouraging people to hold firm and to bring more light into their lives and into their hearts.
And there's many, I just want to say that I am planning on doing more groups and more teaching in terms of utilizing the understanding of frequencies, what that is, what we can do, what we can change, the reality, the true physics of our manifested being in frequency. So I do plan on opening groups up and doing more with regards to all of that and teaching tools. And so that's something that is a work in progress, because that information and that knowledge is, I feel, vital for people. We will do helps on videos, as we have said, but I will be doing more intricate work with people with regards to how to utilize our ability with our meta frequencies, and really taking that on the next level, because it's very needed. This is the time. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day or an evening wherever you are. Thanks.